I grew up in Sparks, Nevada. I was born in Reno. Moved to Rockland, California to go to Sierra College. Then realized it wasn't for me right then because all my friends basically joined the Marine Corps. So I went to San Francisco and met with Major Peterson. He asked me a bunch of questions, and by I think January 3rd or 4th, I signed to go in the Marine Corps. I wasn't ready for it, but I found a home. I got so used to waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and running 4 or 5 miles. Last week at boot camp, Gunnery Sergeant Klaus starts naming off MOSs. And so when they got to mine, it was 2531, which is a radio operator. And I found out in June or July, I had orders to Vietnam. There was 20 of us in a room, and they had 25 orders to Vietnam. So nobody got out of the way. No, they didn't ask you to volunteer or anything. You were just going. When we got to Da Nang, everything changed. They're telling me I've got to go to 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines. Yeah, I ended up in the Central Highlands with a great unit run by some amazing officers. But it was a wake-up call. It was no longer, plain Marine. It was, you're home now. Well, I first started out in the CP, the command post, dealing with scramblers and radio communications with all of the different companies. They figured I hadn't done enough. So I started having perimeter duty in a foxhole. After that, I was back out on the road, doing mine sweeps, going through the villages with my company, and all the way to the Song River, and then back to Firebase Ross. They sent me up to Firebase Ryder, which is on the very, very top of the Central Highlands Mountains. And it was an artillery unit up there, and we had a company unit guarding everything. And when we had bad monsoons, we'd have to go out into the bush and set up new dipole antennas. We did all the communications from the bottom of the Asha into Firebase Ross and to LZ Baldy. It was an experience because the only way in and the only way out was by helicopter. Because if you walked out, it's going to take you about a week. You wake up in the morning, you're just grateful for every moment. You're grateful that you have your friends, and you're grateful they have your back. Got back to Firebase Baldy, was put on a perimeter watch the first night, hadn't had any sleep in 2 days, and slipped and fell off a cliff that was about the size of a telephone pole. And I crushed my pelvis, crushed my lower vertebrae, and lost half of my left kidney. My mother and my father walked right in front of me at Fairfax, and I was in a wheelchair, and I was covered by a large blanket. And they asked where I was. And one of the people said, well, you just passed him. And my mother got shook up. And then once I got out of the hospital in Oakland Naval Hospital, you'd think they'd kick me out of the Marine Corps. Nope. They sent me to 29 Palms to guard nuclear ordnance. 1970, I was discharged, jumped on my Kawasaki, and headed back to Sacramento. Got that certificate from the COVO. They're honoring me with the Grand Marshal. I didn't realize how many things I started. Marine Corps League, COVO, part of the Veterans Day Parade, and a bunch of other stuff that I've done. JW said, you're gonna be Grand Marshal. I said, what? There's a lot of other people that deserve better. So it means a lot, I never really expected anything from anybody. Dave Pica, Bay of Pigs, Frank Deal, liberated 2 death camps in Germany. Ray Hartzell, who loaded bombs on airplanes off of the coast. Those are the real heroes.